Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Dave. Hey, I'm vlogging tonight in my dungeon gym. When you see my videos and the introductions, sometimes show shots of me working out, doing things in the gym. This is where all that happens. And I'm getting ready to work out now, as soon as I do a few vlogs. But anyway, tonight I want to talk about an incident that happened this week, and it has really bothered me. And some of my pet peeves include rude people. Okay, I cannot stand rude people. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's in restaurants. I don't care if it's in groups. I don't care if it's who it is. You know what? If you can't be halfway decent, I'm not going to be around you. I don't care if it's in leadership positions. And now that I'm financially set to the point where I don't have to work and I do whatever I want to do and I go wherever I want to go and I pick who I want to be around, and guess who I pick not to be around? Rude people. Another thing that bugs me really bad is poor customer service. I eat out a lot. I rarely fix a meal at the house. Okay? I eat out for breakfast out or brunch. I don't get up early enough to have breakfast. I eat out for brunch. I'll eat out for dinner. I'll eat out for lunch. I'll eat out for late night. It's rare that I actually cook at home. Okay? I just don't. And if I run into poor customer service at a restaurant, first of all, I don't care what you think about this. I'm telling you how I deal with it. I'm not tipping. I absolutely refuse to tip poor, rude service. Not even a dime. Nothing. All right. Now you say, well, those poor girls and those poor boys, they only make a little bit of money. You know what? Then they're the ones that should understand that and go out of their way to please customers. Sorry. Now, I tip if I have good service, if I have a nice, pleasant waiter or waitress, and they're on the spot and they're watching my drinks and they keep coming back. 20 to 25% is what I generally tip. But if they're rude, if they never come back, if they don't have a smile on their face, if they're not talking to me, they forget me, and every time I need something I have to wait and flag them down, they're not getting a dime. I feel the same way about doctors' offices. Okay? I hate long waits at doctors' offices. Now, I have a primary care physician that I've been with a number of years, and I love this guy. No waits. I get in there no matter what time I go during the day. He spaces his customers out. Now, I don't know how much money he makes, but he spaces his customers out enough, or his patients out enough, that he doesn't overlap appointment times. Most do. If your appointment is 1:15 and you think you're the only one with a 1:15 appointment, well, my appointment's 1:15. Wrong. Most of them, they double, triple, and quadruple book appointments. Because look, they have to make money. Doctors are like anybody else, any other business. They have a building to pay for, or if they don't own the property outright, they're renting it, so they have large leases to pay for. They have equipment to pay for. And doctors are like any other businessmen. They want to drive the best cars they can. They want to live in the best houses they can, at the country club. They've got to pay their staff. Insurances, malpractice, everything. Okay? They're not going to, you generally do that, not the big guys. They're not generally going to do that by just booking one person every 10 or 15 minutes for an appointment. That's not happening. If your appointment time is 1:15, you can bet your butt that 2 or 3 other people sitting in that waiting room with you, their appointment is 1:15. And every 10 minutes, they've got people double, triple, or quadruple booked all day long. And that's why the waits are so long. Now, like I said, I'm lucky. I have a primary care physician where that don't happen at, and I'm fortunate. I also go to an eye doctor. Now, eye doctors are different, usually. You go in, you have your appointment, they come and get you right away, usually, and you go, hey, how you doing? You sit down and you do your eye test, and you sit in front of that big machine, and and you get your script, and you walk out with a new script, and you know, you get new lens and or glasses in a day or two. So this week I had an appointment with a new eye doctor, one I'd never been to before. Okay, it was recommended to me by somebody. What the heck? Okay, so I get there. My appointment is at 1:50. That's 10 minutes till 2. I get there about a quarter till. So I get signed in. I get all the paperwork filled out and everything, and now I'm waiting in the waiting room, and there's a bunch of other people there. And I waited there for 20 minutes, and then they called my name, and I thought, well, man, that ain't bad. So my appointment was at 1:50. They called my name at 2:10, 20 minutes. That ain't bad. I can deal with that. The lady took me down the hallway, past a couple exam rooms. We made a left, went past a couple more exam rooms, made another right. And where do you think she took me? To an inner waiting room where there were other people sitting, at least 6 or 7. So I'm thinking, well, that ain't good. So I'm polite to her because I don't like rude people. Unless I can get rude, but I'm not there yet. I said, okay, thank you, man. I sit down. I'm looking around, and everybody doesn't look happy. And I'm thinking, okay, they just took me from one waiting room to another. So I'm assuming they did the same for these people. And nobody here's got a smile on their face, and nobody's talking to each other. Wonder how long they've been here. So I waited. Man, I waited. And I waited. And during the course of time, they did come out and call 2 people's names. And they took them off somewhere. Probably never to be seen again. No, they took 2 people away. And all of a sudden, the clock rolls around to 2:50. Now, I've been at the doctor's office for an hour. Okay? And the only thing that's happened is they moved me from one waiting room to another. And I'm seeing people walk down that hallway, you know, the techs, young girls and whatever. They're walking, you get the little, I guess they're not nurses at eye doctors. I guess they're techs or whatever. I don't know. So finally I saw the one walk by that brought me back there, and I flagged her down. I'm like, hey man, do you know how long it's going to be? Because I've now been here an hour. My appointment was at 1:50, it's 2:50. And you know, I didn't know I was going to be here hours today. I really have things to do. I got pressing things to do. I can't wait much longer. And the look on her face was kind of shocked, and she's like, well, the doctor's just right down the room there. He's working his way down from one exam room to the other, and it shouldn't be too much longer. I'll let you know. I'm like, okay, thanks. So she disappeared, and I go sit back. I say, thanks, you know. I go sit back again. But I told myself, I'm watching the clock. Okay, it's 2:50. At 3:20, that'll be another half hour. I'm out of here. And I sat there, my adrenaline was up. I was ticked off. I sat there. It was the longest half. You know how my grandmother used to say, a watching pot never boils, or something, a waiting pot never boils, but especially when you're adrenaline, I mean, you're just on fire. It was just seemed like, anyway, finally, the clock struck 3:20, and I'm still sitting there. So I got up, and I walked out of the waiting room, made the little zigzags down the hallway, and was heading to the main waiting room, which is the way out. And I heard this tech say, whoa, not that way, not that way, you're going the wrong way. I just ignored her, and I just kept walking, and because my adrenaline was up then, and I was hoping nobody grabbed me. If it was a female, okay, but if it's a guy, it's not going to be good. And so I walked down the hallway. I walked out into the waiting room. The receptionist, I guess, the office help, she saw me coming, and she said, are you done already? Do you need a follow-up appointment? And she's getting her computer open. And I said, no follow-up appointment, ma'am. I won't be back. And her head shot back, and she's like, what happened? Is something wrong? I just ignored her. I walked on out and got in my car, and when I was driving out the parking lot, I looked up, and there were two of them, a tech and the lady from the desk, and everything. They're looking out the window of the door like, I guess nobody had ever walked out on them before. But I'd been there an hour and a half, and the only thing that happened was they moved me from one waiting room to another. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not acceptable to me. So needless to say, still using my old glasses. I didn't get a new prescription. I didn't get new glasses, new brand, whatever. But you know what? I'll make an appointment back with my old eye doctor. I've never had to wait for an eye doctor, at least. And so I don't know what the deal was with this eye doctor, but I'm not going back. The person who highly recommended this doctor, I've already talked to that person and told the person they're full of you know what, and I'm not going back. Thanks, but no thanks. Don't need any favors like that. And anyway, but that's something that bugs me, you know, whether waiting on your food in a restaurant, and there is no reason, doctor, well, I'm a doctor and you're a patient and this is what I have to do and it's just the way the ball bounces, and if you've got to be here an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours, that's what you got to do. No, I don't. Because there are doctors out there that will see you quicker than that. Okay? Trust me, like my primary care physician. I've been going to see him for years and I've never had that happen. I know it happens with doctors. I've had other doctors periodically that it has happened to me for. This is not the first one I've walked out of, but you can find a doctor. Just because they're doctors doesn't mean they're masters and you're the slave. You still have the right to find a doctor that best works for you. I know I went through one period where I dumped 4 doctors in a year. My insurance provider even called me and wanted to know what was going on. He thought I was seeing different doctors trying to get different prescriptions, I guess. I said, no. I said, I'm trying to find a doctor I can work with because every one of these doctors I get are rude, they cuss, I said, I'm not going to them. He's like, okay, we were just checking. The insurance provider was fine about it once I explained it. You do not have to settle for a bad doctor. You do not have to settle for bad anything. And don't tell me, well, I can only go to one doctor and my insurance provider won't let me switch. Yes, he will. You call your state insurance bureau. You call your state insurance bureau, okay? Your insurance company, your insurance provider can't keep you from switching. That's law. And if they're doing it to you, they're intimidating you, and they're doing something that's against the law. You always have a choice. Always have a choice. You may not be able to choose every doctor because some insurance programs have a network, and a lot of doctors may not be in their network, but there's more than one. Trust me, there's more than one. You just don't know it. There's probably a dozen, at least, in your network. I live in a city an hour from here, Columbus, Ohio, city of 1.5 million people. There are hundreds of doctors' offices in Columbus, Ohio. My network, my insurance carrier, there are dozens in our book that I can see. So you do not have to settle for a bad doctor. Anyway, I just thought I'd vent on that, folks. 2 days before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yes, I say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas. God bless. That's something else I say. And I hope you're safe through the holidays, and I hope you have a wonderful time. And do not sit for hours in a doctor's office. Kick them to the freaking curb. Dave out.